Okay, so welcome everybody to our hangout. And as we said, it's something different, something very different, in fact. I'm Robin Retallick and of the Law of Attraction Club. And today we'd just like to give you part one on the story about this program that we're putting together, because we've found that it's really something quite different. So let's begin here, and shortly I'll bring Tara through and we can talk some more about the nature of who you are and so on. So today's background, what we're calling part one, we'll begin with knowing who you are and how the game works, understanding the shape of your consciousness and what it really means to make a change. Tomorrow is some more background. Part two, we'll begin to move beyond understanding things and explore new ways of thinking and practicing those into new thinking habits as you rediscover yourself and why you're here. In March, some background, I guess. So in March, the four of us community leaders here, myself, Mary Beth, Kathy and Rachel, decided to get really serious about change. And we took upon ourselves to meet every day. We shared how our day went on a feel-good scale of +5 is really good, to 0, which is sort of not good, not bad, to -5, which is not so good. And in these calls, we committed to raising the bar. That is, we committed to movement forward rather than just status quo. We committed to talking about how we felt for the day and how tomorrow is going to be, what our intentions are and so on. And it's been huge, as we say. It's long story short, people are sleeping better. People are being more positive during the day. People are stepping more into a realization of the power that they have. It's really been something. And along the way, of course, we learned the value of it being a daily exercise. So then the question came up, how can we take a daily program like this and make it into a program we can run with a lot of people on it, share with our members? And then, of course, we come up, well, if it's this effective, how could we not do it? We just have to find a way. And so we've done some thought and we've done some design, and now we're offering this program we're calling Change Your World for the first time to our members, our guests, and our YouTube channel subscribers. How it's going to work. There'll be a second hangout on air tomorrow, Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, to give you more info and a sign-up link. We're going to ask you to commit by the following Monday, Memorial Day, by the end of the day. Then we're going to use Tuesday to Thursday next week to talk with each of you one-on-one, find out where you are and where you want to go. And we'll be pointing you to resources that you're going to be using in the program. And Tara will be there as always to answer any questions you have for them. So it'll be a mini one-on-one with Tara also if you'd like to do that. And then on Friday, June the 1st, we start our daily calls. We're going to manage the logistics of this as best we absolutely can. So you can be on almost all of those calls. We may do 2 a day and at 2 different time slots, but we'll work that out with you. But the important thing is it's going to take commitment from your end. And then on Saturday, June 30, we wrap it up. As always in our programs, there'll be a graduate follow-on program, maybe 2 calls a week, which has been pretty successful for other programs, but we'll be deciding what works as we work our way through June. So let's bring Tara through into this, and we'll talk a little bit about who you are and where we're going and what this is all about. Here we go. Welcome. We're excited to be mixing it up with you in this new way. Our intention is to give you our perspective and support you on your journey. What you accept as truth is, as always, for you to choose. And whatever you choose becomes your own self-reinforcing reality. Because it is these choices you make that define you and your matching context. That is true for all of us. Of course, there are some basic fundamentals about the nature of who we all are that we cannot choose. We call those the absolutes. And we're not going to go into those at length here today because we want you to concentrate on the takeaways, the things that can strongly support you as you seek to break out from under the spell of reality, as we call it. Let's start by looking at 4 games you can play and the degrees of reality involved. At the lowest level of involvement, you could play Monopoly. At the next, you might go see a movie. At the next, you might put on a headset and participate in a virtual reality. And then there's the ultimate game, Life on Earth. So Monopoly, it's a simple game. It's not real, it's just a game. You don't get involved in the story at all. You don't feel you're spending your own money. You don't think you're staying in a hotel and being charged for it. You know it's just a board game. A fun game, perhaps, but it's just a game. You could go see a movie. It's more complex and it's designed to get you involved emotionally, identifying with the characters and being engaged with the movie. But if you turn your head, you see the theatre, maybe the exit signs, the people in the seats alongside you, but not the screen. What you remember is you went to see a movie. And then you could play an electronic virtual reality. It's much more complex and you interact with it. When you turn your head, you see a different part of the story. And here's the significant thing. You remember it as something that happened to you. Quite different from a movie. You remember a movie as something you saw on that day. When you play an electronic virtual reality game, you remember it as something you actually experienced. And then, of course, there's the ultimate game, Life on Earth. It seems not to be a choice. It's always on. It's the ultimate in complexity and in the ways you interact with it. It's so good, it seems to be self-evidently real and inevitable. Things to note here. As electronic virtual realities get better and better, it will become harder and harder to perceive the experience as fiction. The degree of reality is a judgment you make based upon a conscious interpretation of sensory input. Reality is not an absolute. It's a fiction. Let's look now at the shape of your consciousness. You have a conscious thinking processor. That's the thinking you that's engaged here and listening to these words and watching these slides. You have a subconscious processor that's thousands of times faster. Your subconscious makes 99.9% of your decisions. It walks you. When you get up and walk to the door, you don't think about where you're placing your feet or how you balance on 2 legs. You just go there. It talks you. You don't choose the words that you use. You have an idea you want to express. And your subconscious provides the words and talks them. It drives the car. When you first learned to drive, you couldn't handle all of the things you need to do to drive a car. You had to do it on a deserted street or in a parking lot and practice certain things and certain things and certain things. You actually knew how to drive a car because probably you've been watching people drive cars for years. But what you didn't know was subconsciously how to drive the car. And until you drive the car subconsciously, you can't really drive it because you don't have enough processing power in your conscious processor to handle all the input. And your subconscious reacts you to situations. When things happen, if they're good, you feel good automatically. And if you perceive them as bad, you feel bad. So these reactions are sort of inbuilt and into this processor of yours, which you train and you forget it exists. And it's a powerful force for maintaining the status quo, as it should be. Of course, the implication there is if you want to change the status quo, then ultimately you have to get that change into this subconscious of yours. And you also have what we could call your superconscious. It has all the metadata, your tapestry of expectations, if you like. It's the blueprint for you and your world. But all of these have been decisions you've made, things you've learned and trained your subconscious or your superconscious to engage with and provide to you. That's you. That's the thinking you and all of your components. So making changes in your world means acknowledging consciously that reality is a fiction and changeable. If you believe in the law of attraction, and by following the principles of understanding that and aligning yourself so that change can occur, you're recognizing that reality can be changed. And as we've just talked about, moving that realization from a nice, conscious, intellectual understanding to a different level of reality awareness is the next step. Because you have to break the spell of so-called reality, which means you have to practice less reality thinking and practice making new conscious choices. And that's exactly what Change Your World is designed to do. And along the way here in this process of our internal use of these techniques, we've compiled a list of 10 truths and affirmations that will support you. Let's briefly discuss them, because what we have observed is as you understand these, you can use these as touchstones. As you confront reality and decide that you wish to change it, you can allow yourself to grab hold of these and understand the true nature of who you are and get into the repetition and the practice of developing new thought habits. So let's just go briefly through each of these. Reality is virtual. It's an inside job. There's nothing you cannot be, do, or have. 2, if you believe reality, you reinforce it. A new belief choice creates a new reality. The present, 3, is all there is. Be in the present. You could say, the past is what determines where you are now, but there is no past. Can you show us the past? There is no past. There is just the present. There is just the omnipresent, the ever reoccurring present. And 4, who's in charge? You are. An important and powerful concept, because you are the decider. It is the conscious you, even in that front area, that front processor, this conscious you that's hearing this presentation, being involved with us here. It's you who make the decisions. And you made all the decisions that form you and the world that are around you. And the important thing to know in all of that, of course, is you made the decisions and you can change them. 5, if bad ideas are hovering around, gather them up, confront them, bring them into the light, and let them go. 6, thou shalt not beat up on yourself. Treat yourself with enormous compassion. 7, how is not your job. Focus on what feels good and doors will appear. 8, creation is moment by moment. Everything can change in an instant. 9, every small choice of a better feeling thought causes a shift in reality. Every small choice of a better feeling thought causes a shift in reality. And 10, your natural state is well-being. In the Abraham analogy, when you hold a cork under the water and hold it down, the instant you release it, it bobs to the surface. And the ultimate truth here is that when you drop all resistance, you float. Your natural state is well-being. When you're trying to break the grip that reality has on you, we've watched the effect these affirmations can have. They are powerful. Also powerful are the audios we build around these guide awareness affirmations. And we'll be producing a new one of those for this program. Each day, as you're hearing the words and speaking them to yourself, you'll be allowing yourself right there and then to know the truth. You'll be practicing knowing who you are and accepting it at all levels within you. Each moment of conscious awareness you spend acknowledging the truth of who you are enrolls your subconscious as a powerful partner in this new game you are playing together. This is the path to mastery. This is where we're going, and we invite you to join us. Good. So what's in the Change Your World program? We'll have an intro call with you and as a setup to the program, we'll be arranging those one-on-one in May, from May 29 through 31. And then in June, we've set aside June, the 30 days of June, for 30 days of calls. They'll be recorded and available, but commit to being there as a priority. Changing your life is not a trivial exercise because you have a lot of built-up habits of thought and well-practiced habits of thought, as you should. That's what creates the world, the game that you're playing here. And changing that means changing habits. It takes focus and commitment. There'll be one-on-ones with the team and with Tara. We'll be providing guided visualizations, which we strongly encourage you to use, including those 10 basic affirmations, because those 10 truths about you, those 10 affirmations, are really powerful when you bump up against yourself or you bump up against so-called reality. They're really powerful. and membership and in the Law of Attraction Club, and the Q&A calls we have there are included in this program. And there'll be a really super introductory offer. We'll give you more news about that in tomorrow's Hangout on Air. So there we have it. Change Your World, a 30-day intensive focus on the art of creating a new reality. We'll have a longer discussion today and Q&A for if there are any questions on our open call line. The number's there, 1712-432-0075, and the PIN is 101830. For those of you who follow us on our YouTube channel, we invite you to come join us as a guest at theloaclub.com/join and pick up a free copy of our popular Letting Go process. Remember to tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for more details. You'll see the Hangout listed in our channel. So we look forward to touching base with you and catching up with you soon.